I'm guessing you're not yet bored with us indeed. So, welcome back to episode number 4 from CEO Unplugged by CEO Square. Today, we actually have quite an influential entrepreneur with us, an entrepreneur with a vision, an entrepreneur who has actually made his place in this field. Which field? What is it? Who is he? Well, it's none other than Mr. Shafi here with us. Mr. Shafi, welcome. Welcome to our show. It's actually quite inspiring to meet you in person after a very long time and after your long schedule. But before we get into the whole conversation, I do know that you've been in this industry from quite some time and your experience speaks mountains about it. So, keeping that in mind, can you tell us what is Ique Ventures and what is the aim of Ique Ventures or the vision of it?
Okay, Ashmi, thank you for inviting me for this podcast.
Pleasure.
Talking about Ique Ventures, no, actually, as a company, what Ique Ventures is actually trying to do is to make a better startup ecosystem. We are not a company which is a startup. We are a company which is creating a startup ecosystem that can foster startups. Okay. So basically, when we are creating startup ecosystem, we need to know what is startup ecosystem, right? So it consists of 4 major roles. Like one is entrepreneurs, obviously. Second is startups as an entities. Okay. Third is investors or investment companies like VCs, angels, etc. And fourth is organizations, governments and other organization, public, all this kind of organization, which is directly or indirectly involving in shaping this ecosystem. So what we are doing is like we are creating several programs so that we can build these 4 areas so that we can have a better startup ecosystem. And as of now, we are not blaming that the startup ecosystem which we have is not good like that. But there is a long way to go actually. There are more miles to go. So that's actually what we are trying to do. We are trying to create a better startup ecosystem that can foster and build a better startup culture and as a nation also. And for nation also, we can economical and other achievements also can be.
Benefits of that. So basically, in a way, the GDP goes up with startups. I've seen definitely.
Exactly.
So keeping that in mind, I see that this thought would have come from somewhere. Like something would have inspired you or some experience maybe would have brought you here. Can you tell me that catalyst or the thought behind it?
No, it's very simple actually. It's like I started my career as an entrepreneur only. So that basically I have faced many challenges, especially when coming to, we can say like lack of resources, lack of information, basically, lack of thought process, lack of networks, also like that. So in my journey, I thought it's my only problem. Like later than I found out that many entrepreneurs in India is facing the same. They might have a good idea, good product, etc. But they don't actually what is actually this kind of how this works actually. What are the people? What are these investments? How we can get investments? All these kind of things. So that's actually this thought came from of creating a better startup ecosystem that can fit everyone, not just people from IIT or IIM like that. So in our this always we are focusing on startups mostly from tier 2 and tier 3 cities. And we call it hidden gems actually. They are gems actually. We have talked to many entrepreneurs, many startups in India, especially in the rural part of India. There are like products which is having like years of experience or years of customers, all these kind of things. But the problem they are lacking is they don't know how to expand it or how to sell to like the bigger persons, the bigger companies or a bigger audience, all these kind of things. So that's what we took an oath to create a platform or an ecosystem that can fit everyone in like that.
Actually, that's quite interesting. I like the word which you said, which is ecosystem.
Yes.
You're not just trying to help one company, one person. You're trying to help the whole system. So what this does is it brings in a positive environment, not only for people who want to do something, but also at the same time, people who have done something.
Exactly.
So keeping that in mind, you see sometimes these questions keep coming up over there, especially with some of my friends. That is, I want to invest money, but I don't have money is what they keep telling me. What is your take on this? What advice would you give for such youngsters over there who keep telling money is the biggest problem for me?
Yes, exactly. So that's actually that's a common question in India actually. The thing is like we all have to work from the very foundation. That is the mindset actually. So basically, investing money, investing all this kind of investment is something like you are putting some asset so that you get something like that. So money is not only the asset. That's the first thing you have to understand.
I think we'll pause there for that thing that says money is not the only asset. You heard that, youngsters? Money is not the only asset.
Exactly. The thing is like, for example, assume you are a person, okay. If you have 8 to 10 hours you can spend daily, you have free time of that, no. That is your asset. Nobody can buy that, right? And if you're a person at 60s, you're at 60s, you don't have a health, like that you can say. But at the same time, let's say 40 years, you worked for 40 years in a particular industry, 40 years of expertise in one particular industry or one particular product. So that's your asset actually.
Asset, indeed.
So, and if you're a developer or a singer, musician, a guitarist, whatever it is. So if you are in something, if you have expertise and skills in something, that is your asset. So if you don't have money also, you can be part of someone's big idea. You can be a co-founder. You can get like hundreds of examples in successful people like that. So you can do that. You can invest what you have instead of complaining what we don't have. We should be grateful actually, and especially a country like India, we only grow from that point. So instead of comparing us from to a developed nation, we should focus on what we have and we should work on it to scale to that position of a developed country.
Actually, speaking of developed countries and developing countries, I would firstly definitely say that it's nice that you mentioned that whatever we have to try to make the best out of it.
Exactly.
But what I keep seeing, especially in the trend, is everybody wants to leave India. Everybody wants to leave India. Even if you're getting learning your education here at first, you would want to go work abroad. Why are people leaving India and going abroad? Is it because India is not providing a safe space for us, or what is happening here?
The thing is like there are some factors actually for it actually. Coming to it is like moving to some other country or other states or other places, not something new actually. So it's like from centuries it's happening. So moving for job, moving for business, all this kind of things happening from a very long time, right? From centuries, I guess humans move to another place to get more resources, etc. So it's not something new, but this globalization is actually played a very big factor that people can move like that. It's true. And also in India's population, like 1.4 billion people are living in a country that is like half of Canada. so basically there is a scarce of resources. Exactly, there might be a problem. And like opportunities, all this kind of things. So creating opportunities for this much people it's not a easy task, right? And also controlling and ruling this much people in a very easy way. So that's also not going happily. It's not easy way. Mm-hmm. So it's a factor, but as of now, if we are sitting here in India, for an entrepreneur, it's a very good era actually. More opportunities, more people are investing from India and outside, abroad to India, to entrepreneurs in India. So if you are an entrepreneur from India, it's already becoming a tag that you are good. So that's a good sign actually. So people who want to be an entrepreneur, I think it's better to stay in India. Let's develop India.
I think that's actually a very good point, like of how entrepreneurs these days, especially in India, quite recognize. For example, if you just look from Zepto to Zomato to, if I'm not wrong, all of the entrepreneurs, most of them, I'm sorry to say all, but I would say most of the entrepreneurs these days are coming out from India. And India has been a very nice space, incubation, or a platform for such entrepreneurs. Now, this brings me to much more, I would say, interesting question. Is definitely something has inspired you to do this. It is not just the challenges or problems, but there must be some role model in the marketing field, because you've had to market this, because if you can't sell yourself, or if you can't even make your idea reach an audience, then there is no point. So who is your marketing idol, I would ask?
No, like everyone will be having idols or someone mentors, we can say. But in coming to marketing, this answer might not be what you're expecting actually.
Is it Steve Jobs?
No, exactly no. I know most of the people will be expecting that actually. But for me, from my learning part, there's one person. The answer might be unconventional, but still, it is Mahatma Gandhi. So the people who are hearing this podcast also will who
Mahatma Gandhi, all of
not
a
from
sudden?
not
Yeah.
from a business background kind of thing. But the thing is like if you focus in detail, you will understand it actually. The thing is like when at the time of independence or the struggle for the independence, what happened is like many people like Bhagat Singh or all our leaders who fought for a country, while they're fighting, what happened is this global powers like Britishers, they were the powers that time. So they were establishing these people or a country as troublemakers or terrorists. So they were the good people and we were the bad people, like that they were showing, right? So actually Gandhiji understood this problem. So and anyways he was also moving in a non-violent path also. So what he did the same time when he was doing the non-violent path, he was also propagating it properly. So you might have seen some photographers or journalists nearby all time. So
True.
whatever the programs or the movements he does now, he document it. He makes sure that it is going to reach the eyes of the world. That the Indians are the oppressed people, not the oppressors. They are being oppressed by the Britishers. These much atrocities are happening, and we are doing peaceful movements to get our country back.
And
So
it's freedom.
he
Yeah. Mhm.
established in a way that the whole the whole thing changed actually. He changed the card actually. He changed the like a narrative that Indians are terrorists or the troublemakers too. Indians are the victims. And the Indians
It
from
made people start questioning.
Indians from villains to Indians from victims.
True.
So I think that was a big marketing style. It might not be something related to money or business, but still, it made a very big impact in that
In the system,
system
in
and the
our
movement,
country,
when
yeah.
especially in the independence struggles and all. So that's why in my marketing idea is Gandhiji.
Very unconventional indeed. But actually, I do get the logic behind it, okay? Because at that age, number one, like you mentioned, and then trying to rebrand what Indians are was pretty hard. It's pretty hard. Right now, if you just cover my face, I'm pretty sure it'll be very hard to rebrand my face even. But coming back to you, you see, getting a lot of insight, I think it's very perfectly honest to ask you this question, which has been let's say haunting me or many people like me, is that, see, I have an idea, okay? I have an idea, I believe in it, but I am scared. What am I scared about? I'm scared that someone else might take away my idea, some investor might steal away my idea. In such a scenario, what can I do?
Actually, this happens a lot with the entrepreneurs these days. Actually, the thing is like it's not something that is they are going to steal. Investors are someone who want to invest their money and keep idle. Or they want to be want to sleep peacefully, so that their money is going to
Good use.
multiply it, right?
Uh-huh.
So they are not going to steal your idea. And if you are an entrepreneur, if you want your company to be, always share your ideas with the people, the mentors, so that they will give you insights, so that you can build it in a proper way. And the one thing you have to keep it in mind is, for example, I will tell you for my example also, if I gave my all project for the coming year, all business plan to you also, you are not going to do it. No one is going to do it. It's your company, your idea, it's your thirst, right? So you have to share your ideas with people, especially with investors and the mentors, so that they can give you some insights, or they can help you build your company. Then once it is on a good way only, everyone is going to get benefited, right?
True. Quite interesting, actually, if I might say. Uh, okay, I've actually got a very good idea about what Ique Ventures is, and I love to be honest, the thing that's ringing in my head is the ecosystem, okay? Because you're trying to build an India which believes in its entrepreneurs rather than question them, like Shark Tank, I'd say. And this trend of Shark Tank has actually made a lot of us quite aware about it. I will want to talk a bit more about that, but my question, or from the information that I've received from my team, is that your venture has been in collaborations with government agencies for several projects. What is the purpose of this, or how does it help?
Actually, that's main thing. The thing is like their government or other organization which is playing. As I told, we are in our ecosystem. We are trying to build a collaboration with them. The power of collaboration is something big. Actually, the thing is like if you want to see some changes, if you want to be see very big changes, that's the only option. Actually, I think. For example, I'll tell you. For example, you are in Bangalore, so you know the traffic. So only once the traffic hits at a point that people can't move, the cars can move, then only the plan of creating a flyover comes, right? So we are not blaming the government. So that's the system. Actually, that's how the system works.
Yeah, that is
Right.
when there's a problem,
But-
you get a
But
solution.
but think of it in another way. Seeing, foreseeing this thing, I mean this scenario. So some startup is creating this project, funding it or collecting investors for that, and implementing it, fine, and maintaining it. If that can happen, who is going to benefit? The government is going to benefit because they are having more projects in their hand,
True.
so they can show it in their next election campaign, right? Citizens are going to get the benefits. They are going to get everything, right? The investors are going to get benefited, like that. So the power of collaboration and joint venturing with the governments to create more projects or to create infra or tourism and all these kind of things is going to help us in a very good way. Everyone, startups also, because they are the policy makers. The startups also, they are going to get benefited, and the investors getting money. Citizens are getting infra. So it's all. For example, I'll tell you. There is one project actually we are pitching with the government of Kerala right now. So it is called 10 clubs. So it's basically what it does is there will be 10 clubs in government schools or the public schools. Okay. So among the 10 clubs, there will be tech, marketing, communication, all this. There will be 10, like there's 10 clubs, one club for each, like that. So through that, through workshops, all these kids they will get to know about tech knowledges, all the skills that actually they require.
Mm.
Apart from that, syllabus they are having.
I see.
For
So
example,
basically additional
From 4th
courses.
standard students going to make their own mobile app through workshops. Actually, we are providing. So it's not. I think in any of the countries in the world, it is provided to public schools. So that's a project. So who is going to benefit from them? Schools, governments, startups, and it's going to create more jobs. So like these projects also, we are projects are actually you mentioned. There are many projects coming, and we are going to pitch it for the every governments also, because there is potential also. So power of collaboration is something different. If it plays well, no. So in our ecosystem, in our startup ecosystem, we are ensuring that that is also happening, and because it is going to play a vital role in it.
I think I would sum it up in a sense that teamwork definitely makes your dream work. Indeed. And I think we've got a lot of insight from you, but I would trouble you just with one more element. Can I?
Yeah,
Can I?
sure.
So, see, I've been learning a lot, I'll be very honest in this conversation. So I would like to know a bit more about, because in our conversation earlier, even before shooting, you're telling me a bit about the valuation game, terms like equity. Can you give us your insight or a small explanation? Because I'm 100% sure you all have heard this term on Shark Tank, either Shark Tank India or the Shark Tank International version of it. But my point is simple. Do you actually know what is equity? Do you actually know what is the valuation game? I think maybe we can get some insights from you on that.
Like equity is something very similar. It's like buying shares. For example, you have something. For example, Ashmi is a company. So if I'm buying 10% of Ashmi means that's equity. 10% of equity of Ashmi means I am the owner of the 10% of Ashmi. That's all. So equity is similar like that. The valuation part is actually a very important word that every entrepreneur should understand. Actually, the thing is like it's actually that point which is diversifying, or which is like creating a difference between the normal business and startups. Actually, the thing is like normal business, what they do. For example, I'm telling there is one you are running a restaurant, right? So when you will be investing 20-30 lakhs, something like that, and after that what you do is like you expect particular profit per month, right? So this is a normal business what they are running. But in the coming to startup, you might think like this company got this much amount, this much
This much
funding
valuation.
at this much valuation, right? So there comes the valuation game. So every startup or every CEOs of a particular company should focus on that actually. So the valuation game is nothing like that. For example, your company is valuing at 10 lakh rupees right now. So how I can get it to 5 crores or 10 crores or 100 crores?
So how you increase the value of your
Yeah,
company?
value of a company. So this is actually how an entrepreneur should think. And an entrepreneur should plan at coming 6 months or coming next year. This is the valuation I want my company to be. So what are the factors I want to work on? Revenue is one thing, customer acquisition, customer retention. There are many factors. So people should work on it actually. The thing is like investors looking for it actually. The main thing is more than the entrepreneurs trying to get investors, the investors are trying to get startups. People don't know that actually. If you have a startup which can go to another level or which can increase the valuation, obviously investors will invest. And investors are investing not to get profits, in the sense monthly returns or yearly returns. They are investing in your company at a particular valuation. They want your company to go to another valuation so that they can exit when the next investors comes. So that's an idea of the startup ecosystem or the startup culture. So as I know, many people won't be aware about it, but people should learn and understand this and work according to that actually. Every entrepreneur who's seeing this video should not plan at your next year at profit or something like that. How to raise my company's valuation. You should work on it actually.
I'm going to repeat that. How to raise my company's valuation. Because I think most of the times I have heard everywhere is what profit am I getting? How profitable is your company? Or I'm sure you also have heard it, my dear viewers and audience. But this thing that you told me, right, about valuation, especially this is the ultimate, if I would say, mantra of every entrepreneur. It shouldn't be, am I getting money back? Is it, am I getting value back for whatever I am putting in? I think that's a very good quote to actually wrap up our day. I know I've taken all of your energy in trying to extract full information from you, but definitely this is going to benefit you all. If you're going to look for some advice, you're definitely at the right place. So coming back now, thank you so much, Shafi. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to have you at our show. But I'm going to make the same request that I do for every influential person and every deep-minded person like you. Please do come back. I know your schedule is like literally, I think I'll have to kidnap you someday to get you here the next time. But I will do it. I will definitely do it. And let's hope that we can share a few more insights and much more deep, full, meaningful conversations together. Apart from that, thank you so much for coming here today. And thank you all for actually, no, I should say you're welcome, right? Because thank you. You should be telling us for all of these insightful ideas and insightful conversation. So you're welcome and thank you at the same time. Keep listening to CEO Unplugged by CEO Square. I'm your host, Syed Mashood Hashmi, and our guest today, Mr. Shafi here. Signing off. Do have a blessed day ahead.